Ulisebawiu. Good morning. My name is Tim Nicholas. Dlewius Nil, Timmy Nicholas. Wajayawi Negutpuk. I'm here from Tubik. Today I want to talk about little people. But before I do, within our culture, there was lots of magical creatures that we learned about as young people, and we heeded to them. For example, we were always told not to go swim alone because there was a monster called, his name was Abu Dumpkin. And Abu Dumpkin was a scary looking character that came down and pulled kids into the river if they were alone. So we often found ourselves fishing with friends, with cousins. Along the river there were many riches, there were many medicines, the fish, the salmon, all types of fish in the river. So it only makes sense that along this coastline that I'm pointing out here, going right around, was where the little people would dwell. And there was a place in my community, Louis Solis' house, Louis Sapier's house, and that was the most sightings that people would see the little people. And we were told when we see a small person that just to stay quiet, and often they'd be dressed the same as we were at that time. Of what I've heard of little people, they had two types of characters, or two different purposes, I guess, in life. The first one was to protect the medicines, to protect the fish, the environment, plants. They'd watch over them and protect them for our people. And with the salmon, we would take our salmon, and we were told that the salmon eats medicine below the water, on the bed of the water, and because they ingest this medicine, we in turn, when we ate the fish, would be taking in these medicines that we wouldn't otherwise have access to. The other purpose, I guess, of little people was they were tricksters, and you'll find that with a lot of Maliseet characters. There's tricksters. For example, like Glooskap's brother, he was a trickster. So people saw back then we had farms in our community. We had horses and cows and chickens. And people would wake up and find the mane of the horses was all braided up, and they didn't know how it happened. And over time, this happened time and time again. Women that left their wash out on clothesline, they would find their clothes all tangled up in the morning, and wondering who had done this. But it was the little people. As I said, they were tricksters. My aunt, Tua, she told me that she saw, she went in the barn and there was a ray of sun coming down through the barn boards, and she saw little people climbing up on that ray of sun and jumping off, playing. And they didn't see her at first, but after a while they did. So the stories I hear are from first-hand people. I usually don't want to use other sources, but it makes it more engaging and more humorous and good storytelling, which is the background of our communities or of our speakers. There was a gentleman by the name of Laszlo Szabó. He was Ukrainian, and he worked with the people from St. Mary's and Tobik as a linguist, and he said the Maliseet language was beautiful, and he said that we had the best storytellers, and that's something I never forget. So I also want to end with a prayer in my language, this is something we share in schools, and it's to give thanksgiving. Often students don't see all the good that was given to us and how rich we are. So the prayer goes as, Ulaswaltamutine, let's give thanks. Ulaswaltamutine chubamausuwagan, thank you for life. Uliwan chubsiudegek, thank you for everything. Uliwan chuzamagwan, madachwan biduasmil, let's thank you for the water, no one will be thirsty. Uliwan chubskikwal, chulimahaskil, thank you for the grass, especially for sweet grass. Uliwan chumijwagan, Welman Wuligisigul to Knichan Noak. Thank you for the water. So thank you for food, I meant. Thank you for the food so that our children will grow up well. Wuliwan Chu Pison, which you can see built so thank you for the medicines so we can heal ourselves. Wuliwan Chu Cheek, Upseek, Wikpeak, Nagastaknak. Let's thank you for all the types of trees, especially the ash that's used for making baskets and axe handles and all kinds of things that we found out we could barter with the non-native people. So I'll liwan cho Rajausan. Thank you for the wind so that we can breathe well. Uliwan cho Gizos, Tlotwen Magwans Padel, Nagapulik Pasopan. Thank you for the sun, it gives us light and heats us. Uliwan cho Bisesmag, Chiwalat Wessel Pipit. Thank you for the stars at night that give us light. Uliwan cho Nibauset, Knibayat Wen Magwan. Thank you for the moon that walks across and gives us light. Uliwan cho Pseudegek, Eliwalewinek, Nitepso. Thank you, Creator, for everything. We're grateful. Nitepso.